Good. Okay. So, hello, everybody. Good afternoon. It is such a pleasure to be here. And I'm really thrilled and honoured to be have been asked. So I'd like to start by thanking Anna Busseri for giving me this opportunity, and for Juliet Macapalia and all the organisers and fundraisers for inviting me along here today to speak to you. And I'm going to apologise at the start of this because just 15 minutes ago, my computer keeps telling me I've got a virus and I don't know how to shut off I think it's just a sales thing. So I do not know how to stop the sound. So I do apologise if you keep hearing a ping in between. Hopefully it will not interfere too much with this presentation, this discussion, this chat, whichever word you want to use to describe it. So my name is Brenda Dempsey and I'm CEO of Book Brilliance Publishing, amongst other things. And I'm here to talk to you today about 10 tips to start a business. And it's really, it's fantastic because you'll hear in a second how I started my publishing business June 22nd, 2021, right in the middle of a pandemic, a crisis in COVID-19. So that is massive optimism and hope for the future, despite adversity that we're going through. So what is success? So you'll see throughout this presentation, there's lots of little quotes for you to ponder on. So I chose this one. To be successful, you have to have your heart in your business and your business in your heart. So this is the epitome, in essence, of who I am. I love life. I love what I do, and it becomes my lifestyle rather than opposed to having them separated out. So you have to have it from the inside and projecting it out. And that's what we're going to look at today. It'll be quite different from maybe what you're thinking about, because I like to be different. I am different as you are, as we're all unique. So who am I? These are just some images of who I am. So I am a woman. I am a mother. I'm a grandmother. I'm a sister. I'm an aunt. I am all women. I am women. And family is very important to me, even although 3 of my children now live in Dubai and I'm here just outside London. What's important to me that's gone throughout my life, and I'll tell you about that later, is I am a person who wants to make a difference and give back. So part of who I am is giving back, not only to my own community, but also on a global stage. So some of the projects that I've founded and been founding members of is helping handbags worldwide, because you'll hear in my story a moment ago, it's important to help vulnerable women, and we were helping women around period poverty, and we used a handbag as a symbol of hope, a symbol of respect, and a symbol of what was possible with the needs contained within it. I'm also a founding member of the International Consortium for Domestic Peace, and I know the NDPID is all about peace. And this is a slant on peace, domestic peace, rather than using the term domestic violence, because domestic violence conjures up all sorts of connotations. But when we say domestic peace, it's about living in harmony and living in peace. And we all deserve to live in peace. I am a #1 best-selling author internationally and nationally. I love to bring people together, and stories, they are important to me. So I have a number of books. My latest one is Resilient Voices, that you see on there. It's brought together 45 amazing people from around the world, men, women, doctors, politicians, business people, all sorts of people from all walks of life, on how they have not just survived COVID and surviving COVID, but how they've also thrived, and how COVID has provided an opportunity to create change in new direction. And that's what it's all about. I do a lot of work in India and Africa, and I am a board advisor for the Asian and African Chamber of Commerce and Productivity. So I have been working in this area for 3-4 years or more now. I with Passion Vista in India, that is spreading, and my work is being recognized there, and I find that just, it's amazing that we're able to do this. So part of who you are is about being visible, and we'll be talking about visibility. If you're growing a business, you have to be visible. So I am a person who walks my talk, and diversity and inclusion is massive for me. Since the age of 6, I have always championed underrepresented people. I raise money for Biafra as a 10-year-old. I bring people together through my networking event called Awaken Your Voice, where we get men, women to start to look inward and tell their stories in a safe space where they are encouraged to do so. And I've been a teacher for 25 years. I am a coach as well. But more recently, during COVID, I became a publisher. And these are just 3 of the books that are bestsellers and #1 bestsellers. And one of the latest ones I'm sure you'll be interested in is My Hair, My Choice, which is about hairstyles. It's a big thing here in the UK, and it's looking at African hairstyles. And this author has used both her children to get that across. It's very charming, and it's told in rhyme. And I just love stories, and particularly children's stories, as I was a teacher for 25 years. So what I want to say to you is, whoever you are today, whoever you're going to be tomorrow, whoever you're working on becoming, own who you are. So what is my story? So I've touched on some of my story already. Ever since a child, as young as 5 and 6, I've always wanted to help other people. I help by raising money for children in Africa as a child myself, and that work continued throughout my life. I was married very young, and I have 4 children, but that marriage turned sour quite quickly, and I lived 16 years with abuse. Physical, mental, psychological, financial, emotional abuse for 16 years. Now, you wonder why someone stays in a relationship for 16 years. I probably wondered that myself, but women are nurturers, and they always believe they can make a difference and they can change a person. But when you look inside and begin that own inner journey, you realise that you can only change yourself, and in changing yourself and letting that project out, you can then influence, motivate, and inspire others to do the same and change. So, as I said, my story was, I was married at 17. In my 30s, I went to become a teacher, fulfilling a lifelong dream as a 6-year-old. And that was a very challenging time because I had ill parents to look after, as well as 4 children, and being on my own. But nothing stopped me, and we'll be talking about those traits, because when you've got a vision bigger than yourself and a why, nothing will stop you from achieving your goal with your vision and your dream. So I continued doing that as a teacher, and then my vision grew even bigger, and I knew that after 25 years teaching, I had to leave, and I went into the world of business entrepreneurship. I became a coach. I had been coaching as a teacher anyway, so it seemed a natural progression, and just taking the small steps over and over, lots of failure. We'll be talking about all of these things. it enabled me to get to the point where COVID began and my coaching business wasn't doing as well as it could. Not so sure that you could say it was a failing business. Maybe it was. But the opportunity came and I grabbed it with both hands. And today I have published over 100 authors inside a year, and we are growing and we are on a global stage in Europe, in Africa, America, and India. So for me, story is the most powerful thing. As you can see with the quote, there is no greater power on this earth than your story. You have a duty to tell your story, and your story will change lives. So what's the aim of today? The aim of today is to establish what it takes to start a business and to share tips on how you can start that business and to set an intention to help you to take the next step. So I thought about how will I go about this? And the only way to go about this is what I have done myself and share what has been successful for me. And of course, every day is a school day. Never stop learning, because life never stops teaching us. Very, very important to have that. So what do you need to start a business? You need the intention, and you don't have to be great to start. You just need to take that first step and actually start. So start with that idea. That leads us on nicely to how we do that. So number one, dream big, audacious dreaming. Dream big, bigger than yourself. Scare yourself on that dream, whatever it is for you. Just whatever you dream, 10 times it, 100 times it. And you know what? Before you know it, you are reaching that dream. And that dream gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So dream big. Dream big. Find your passion. Know what you're passionate about. What do you love? What did you love doing as a child? The clue is always in your childhood. Always, without fail. Of the hundreds and thousands of people I've spoken to, their passion comes from childhood. So if you're maybe not too sure, well, I like this and I like that, there is something in there. Know your passion, nurture your passion, show your passion in your words, in your actions, in how you behave. Show that passion. That is your light, and that's what attracts people to you. Have purpose. Don't be a drifter. Don't be aimless. Find that purpose. That purpose and that passion are linked. Sometimes you know the passion, can't quite see how it slots in the purpose. Never force it. Just keep moving forward. Keep doing what you need to do in order, because that purpose will emerge. It will emerge. I didn't set out to be a publisher. I didn't know by being a publisher that I was going to have massive success. But when I look back at all the little signs, the signs was now. And always know that when it happens, when you have that purpose, it's the right time. I'm a diamond lady. I'm in my 60s. And yet this purpose didn't come to me until a year ago. So my purpose at one point, and that begs the question, do you have more than one purpose? Yes, because my purpose is to teach. And my purpose from my first breath to my last breath is a teacher. I am a teacher, and lots of other things in between. So dream big, be passionate, and have purpose. Now, this is my other big passion, mindset. Because psychology has always fascinated me. What is it about some people that make them successful? What is it about some people that they seem to overcome adversity while other people just seem to drown? So obviously in education, you do study psychology, and then you study psychology of being a manager and leadership. And then I looked into things like NLP, and I just cannot get enough of what does it take for people to control who they are, to control what they think, what they say, what they do, how their behaviors. So when you have mindset mastery, boy, life changes. It's not to say that you don't still have challenges, you do. It's still not to say you don't, some days you procrastinate, you do. But when you master your mindset and you have what I call awakened awareness, you can take steps to lessen the impact of it on you. I still have days when I think I'm not good enough. I still have days when I think I'm a fraud. But that's another talk, imposter syndrome. So mindset is everything. Mindset drives your behavior, your action, looking for those solutions, being a problem solver, what results you get, how do you continue going, what's that performance, what attitude do you have? Do you have an attitude of gratitude? Do you have a positive attitude? These are all important things in your mind. Knowing how to shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, which is the work of Carol Dweck. She did a massive study. She's an American psychologist, and she found that there was two types of mindset: a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. A growth mindset, that's the mindset we want. To know there's possibilities, to find the solutions, to not think everything's set in stone, to break the status quo, to take the risks, to go outside of ourselves. All these things, to create those incredible habits that we need. You know, it's habits. You know, a small habit can form. Some argue it's 21 days. Some will argue it's 28. Some will say it takes 6 months, 226 days, I think it is. You know, but depending on what the bad behavior you want to stop and replace it with a better behavior, if it's been a lifetime, you're not going to stop it in 3 weeks. So knowing and accepting is massive in mindset. Knowing, accepting that you don't know what you don't know, but there's ways of changing that by, we'll touch on them in a moment. So here's a lovely little, and it's not quite a quote at the bottom, but I just love this. I'm not going to do it. So if you think of children, think of yourself here when I'm telling you this. I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. I don't want to do it. Well, maybe, how do I do it? Well, maybe I'll give it a try. Well, I can do it, I will do it. And then, yes, you've done it. So you might ask yourself in your business, where are you? What are you telling yourself? Oh, I don't want to do that. What are you procrastinating with? Are you trying? Are you having a go and failing? Edison failed 10,000 times at making a light bulb. He just found he says he found 10,000 ways of making a light bulb. So, mindset. Where are you with your mindset? Oh, I just want to say one more thing before I move on. And that also includes money mindset. I haven't made that a separate slide in here. But where are you on your money mindset? Do you come from a place of lack, or do you come from a place of abundance? The quickest way to go from lack to abundance is gratitude. So that is a key golden diamond tip right now. Change your attitude with gratitude. Absolutely. Absolutely. Give gratitude for what you do have and let the want and the need dissipate. And when you focus on what you do have and the abundance and the greatness within your business, within yourself, more and more will come to you. More and more doors will open, and the more you will have in your life. Perception. How do we see the world? How we see the world comes from within. So back to that very first point, who are you? Know who you are. Who are you? There's a lot of deep reflection needed, but what perception? So let's see what we're talking about. Fail, first attempt in learning. So I've already alluded to failure, so I think you've got some animations there. If you want, can you put your hand up if you've ever failed at anything? Just maybe I can see. We've all failed. Driving tests. Some people pass it first time. Some people take 10 times. Me, I took 2 times. So I told you about Edison 10,000 times. Think of famous people you know. Did they get success straight away? Absolutely not. Richard Branson just launched his sort of spaceship so he could go to the edge of space. How many years did that take? It was something like 8 years or so. Because you've got a planning stage, and then you've got the idea stage, the planning stage, putting it together, trial and error. When you can perceive that failure is part of success and learning, and it's necessary in order to move forward, then when you do fail, we don't get angry, we don't give up, we don't go in moods, we take charge of our emotional intelligence. But you have to make the shift back to mindset. You have to make the shift that perception is different. And your perception is different to others. And perception, oh my goodness, it's a roller coaster. We're on a roller coaster. We're up, we're down, we're going loop to loop, we're in, we're out. Knowing that the roller coaster is part of the ride, is part of the fun, is part of the exhilaration, then again, how you see that roller coaster. So think about it. Some people will go to a park and they'll go, I'm not going on that roller coaster. They fear it, but they haven't experienced it, but yet they fear it because their mind just plays so many tricks on them. They might fear the speed, they might fear the height, they might not like being upside down. And then you have another person who will see that and they'll think, yeah, bring it on. So, is it the roller coaster that's the issue? No, a roller coaster is just a roller coaster, but it's how we perceive things. So take a moment to think about something in your life or in your business right now where your perception is coming more from a negative place. So take a moment to think of that. And ask yourself, why do I perceive it as so? Is that a truth? Or is it just my belief? Because we know that people's beliefs are different, as is their perceptions. So when you start to look at it and question, and then just maybe think that you can, going back to the I can again, that maybe you can change it. Maybe sometimes we think we don't need to change it, but if it's holding us back, I would suggest otherwise. So equally, because we live in a duality, just when you've got something that's a challenge, think of something that you embrace that's positive in your life, whatever that is. Maybe it's that attitude of gratitude. Maybe it's that not giving up. Maybe it's you're good at connecting with others. You're a good conversationalist. Whatever it is, find something that you know you're good at and ask yourself, why do you have that perception? What is it about that? And then you might question yourself as to, well, I think this, but I know my brother, my sister, my neighbor, my friend, they think different. We're thinking different. Is it about being right or wrong? Again, that comes from a place of lack. It's about understanding that perception is different and that it's okay. And that's why we've got a lot of wars and everything going on in the world, because people think they've got to be right or wrong. There's a lot of emotional intelligence going on in there. It's about awareness and understanding. It's about acceptance. It's about letting go. It's about forgiveness. So starting a business, Yeah, we could say, right, let's start with a business plan. But actually, for me, starting a business starts with you, and it starts with what's going on inside. Not what you're going to deliver to your customers or your clients, whether it's a product or a service. But know who you are will give you the greatest chance of success. Because too many people just start with an idea and they go, and I know I said just start, and that's true, but just start and then follow through by finding out more about you, about others, about what it is that you want to do, back to the passion, back to all of these things. They're all interrelated. It's like one big piece of a jigsaw. It's like one small piece of a jigsaw. And then this perception is fantastic. This very clear, two people looking at that digit, one sees it as a 6, one sees it as a 9. Are they right? Are they wrong? Does it matter? It's how we see it. And it's understanding that just because we see something one way, that when someone else sees it another way, that there has to be conflict. Not at all. Actually, when you open your mind, it allows you to see things in many different views. So therefore, you have a better understanding. You're more empathetic. You might shift your own thinking. Because I talk about 360 degrees of learning. So therefore, perception is all about where are you standing from, what's going on inside, where are you emotionally, where are you on that ladder or continuum of success. So you see persons and things not as they are, but as you are. How do you see the world? If you don't like it, change it by doing something different. So very, very important. Know yourself. Know who you are. That means know who you are. What are the great things about you? But equally know those limitations. Know those things that aren't so good that you're still working on. We're not perfect. We are not perfect. We are perfectly imperfect. And that's when we accept that of ourselves, then we will accept it of others. When we accept it of ourselves, we will radiate out that message, and others will begin to accept who they are. It's okay not to be okay. COVID has taught us that. Just think about the last 15, 18 months. What have you discovered about yourself during that time? Because it's like being a prisoner. I feel like a prisoner. It's impacted me greatly. I don't go outdoors as much as I used to. And when I do meet people, I'm keeping my distance, I'm wearing my mask. And that habit, remember, we've now created a culture and a habit. For some people, it's going to be hard to stop. When does it stop being necessary? Is it for yourself or is it for the greater good? So know yourself, know who you are. So if somebody asks me, who's Brenda? I am love, I am joy. I'm working on becoming peace. That's my 10-year plan. So know who you are. I am a publisher, I'm a teacher, I'm a mother. Who are you? I'm a problem solver, I'm a change maker, I'm a woman of action. I'm a woman on a mission to make a difference. Do you know who you are? I know that I can procrastinate some days. So I have to find something to self-motivate myself to stop it. Looking at the end result is that way. Looking at the end result, what do you want to achieve? So just going back to my story, when I wanted to become a teacher and found myself homeless with 4 children, how on earth was I going to still finished my degree. But my why was not to live in poverty and to give my children what they had lost in the sense of that safe home, a roof over their head. So know that you can do these. So let's look at some of these traits. Resilient. So I've just brought a book out, Resilient Voices. How resilient are you? Do you bounce back? Do you stay down? If you stay down, why are you staying down? But when we look back at your life. When were the times you fell and you got back up? We're all weebles. We all do it. And the more we fall down and the more adversity we face, the stronger the resilience we build. Be persistent. Don't give up. Keep going. Keep going. Be persistent. Don't care what other people think. When you are on that purpose with passion and you know you're making a difference and you're coming from a place of love, be persistent. Get creative. Look, we've been creative. I had to get creative coming out of coaching into becoming a publisher. So I had to examine who am I so I could have a solid foundation and use those traits to build my business in the last 15 months. Be determined, be dogged, tenacity, all of these great words. Be determined. Don't let anybody throw you off course. Don't be distracted. Be determined. Keep that goal right ahead. Keep your eye on the prize. What is it that you're after? Communicate. Keep lines of communication open. Keep speaking, keep talking, keep writing, whatever it is you do. Social media, whatever. Just do it. Do it, do it, do it. Keep going. Keep going. Doesn't matter what other people say. That's their perception. And remember what we said about perception. It's their perception. They own it. You don't own their perception. So when someone says, oh, what a stupid idea, what do you want to do that for? That's got nothing to do with anybody else. That's your business. And when you are aligned and when you are connected within and you know you're doing the right thing, then you keep going. Nothing will stop you. Nothing was going to stop me from getting that degree and becoming a teacher and fulfilling a 20-year-old vision and wish and dream of that little girl of 5. Nothing. What will keep you going? And of course, what brings us all together for me is love. I told you, who am I? I am love. I am joy. So, what are you offering? So know that when you're in business, whether you're offering a product or a service, it is that you are a servant. You are serving others. And in serving others, we serve ourselves. Because when we are aligned to that purpose and that passion, we will be givers. Now, I haven't written this down here, but remember I said it's about duality. So one of the hardest things, and women find this harder than men, is yes, we can be great givers, but also in order to rise and to have success and to grow, you have to receive. So ask yourself, what's easier, giving or receiving? Let's strike a better harmony in that. Just the other day, someone offered to do something for me free of charge. And I struggled getting them to do it. And they wanted to do it willingly. And I thought to myself, well, that's what I do. I'll say, I'll do that for you. I don't expect any recompense. Thank you's enough. And yet I struggle when people offer to do things for free for me. So there's something I have to work on and learn to just take a deep breath, say thank you and accept. You know, it's quite a challenge. It's quite a challenge. So what is it you're offering? Know what it is you're offering. Very important. So what do I offer as a publisher? Well, you would think it's I offer publishing a book. That's the simple answer to what I offer. But I offer way more. I make dreams come true. I'm offering a new reality. I'm offering opportunity to grow a business. I'm offering an opportunity to leave a legacy. I'm offering an opportunity to find and share a voice that's filled with learning and philosophy. I'm offering opportunity to be seen as an authority. I'm offering an opportunity to become an expert, to raise your profile. So what are you offering? Yes, you'll have something tangible, like I've got a book, but no, there's a bigger message in what it is you want to do in your business. You see, awareness is key to success. If you're not aware, you'll keep failing and you'll wonder why you're failing. That's why the first half of this presentation is all about you and knowing who you are and aligning yourself. You know, what are you offering? You're offering value, added value. You're bringing value to someone's life, whether you're selling them fruit and veg, whether you're serving them in a cafe or restaurant, whether you're in fashion and making clothes, or whether you're a publisher like me. Know the value and deliver it to the best of your ability. Create amazing things built on that love and all those traits, that passion and that purpose, and capture that value in a way that's tangible. Make the intangible tangible. So for me, what do people say to me every time we have a conversation? I feel better. So I know my value is making people feel better, no matter what. Whether it's a 5-minute conversation, whether it's an hour conversation, whether it's a workshop, working together with them on their book, they feel better. What is your business model? What are you offering? Know it inside out. Know it from different angles. Know it from the intangible and make it tangible. Know it from the inside out. And remember, you're always of service to others. And how do you know you're doing a good job? When they smile and they're happy and you just see that face. They don't even need to say words. You read it in their face. Okay, so this is where I get really excited. Well, I was very excited about that. I'm sure you could tell. But this is one thing that makes a phenomenal shift in people's thinking about a business. We don't start straight into a business plan. We start by building a solid foundation. You don't build a skyscraper building it on sand or a 3-foot trench. You dig deep and wide so that you can rise and go up and out. You build a solid foundation. And there's 3 things in which you build it on. And they are values, your vision, and your mission. And when I was looking at the website of the NDPID, what was on the homepage? Values and mission. Vision and mission. And I thought, yes, absolutely brilliant. And I think we should give everybody a round of applause, because if you are driven by vision and mission with values, underlying values, you are going to be successful. We don't know how long, we don't know when, but we know we are solid because it says who we are. And I went to Malawi in 2018. There was 14 female entrepreneurs, and we had climbed Mount Mulanje in Malawi, and we went to we stayed in a hotel the next day for our efforts, a bit of luxury after sleeping on the floor. And when I walked into that hotel, I was jumping up and down, because on the wall What's our values, visions, and mission? I was like, yes, yes. And I've got to say, I am very, very, I don't know what the word is. I'm trying to get the right word here. Not impressed, but I'm really blown away that when people know that that's the place to start, and when they show that to others. So do you know your values? What drives you? So I can't show you here. This is when I started my business, when I had my people, this is the first exercise we did, values, vision, and mission. So our values are number one, integrity. 2, collaboration. No man is an island. You cannot do anything alone. You have to collaborate. And 3, reliability. And of course, all done authentically. Done because it comes from a place, I talk about being raw and real. As a Scots people are very raw and real. They don't mince their words. They just get to the point. They say it as it is. And it's important. And when you know your values, vision, and mission, you create a culture. And when you include through collaboration, that development, the strategy, all the things that are in success, structure, strategy, and systems, then you will take your team with you. It's when you create gaps by them and us, by not sharing, by not allowing every single person in your business to have a voice. Voice for me equals truth. Then that is that's when you get into difficulties. So when you have values, vision, and mission, and they're overt and they're on your website and you've got them on a plaque, everybody knows who you stand for, what you stand for, sorry, and who you are. So important. So now we're getting into doing practical activity that involves going through a process. And we go through that process and we build values, vision, mission, message, USP, and everything, strategy, plan is built on that. We come back to that every time. And over the time, you can tweak it. So build a solid foundation built on those 3 things. Always, always, always. And of course, I was a teacher for 25 years. You cannot run a school. You cannot have success. You cannot create great relationships without setting SMART goals. Many people, and sometimes this was me in the early part of my business, even although I knew in education, we set, we planned and we set SMART goals. We set them 3 years, 1 year, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily. There was a written plan, written, not in our heads. That's the difference. And many people don't write the importance. So how can you prioritize? You have to prioritize. In my business, we meet every Friday to plan on the week ahead and to reflect on what's gone by. What did we achieve? What didn't we? Why didn't we? How can we make it better? How can we ensure that we achieve it? Do we need more people to help us? You have to be very clear on what it is you want to achieve, one step at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. What's that one goal you've got to do? Actually, I'll take this out. So one of the things that I love about goal setting, I'll talk about this in a moment. Let's just go on to the SMART goals. So you may have heard of SMART goals. You may know this. You may not know it. You may know it as something else. But for me, SMART goals, they're specific. They're specific to what you're doing. Can you measure them? Can you say by Friday, I will have, I don't know, done my values, vision and mission statements? You know, can you measure it? You need to give it a date. It must be dated. Is it achievable? Am I saying I want to earn £1 million by the end of 3 months? Highly unlikely. But if I say I want to earn 5,000 in 3 months, that's achievable. Whatever it is, it's achievable. You know, can't be so big that you can't achieve it in a time scale, because remember, you've got a measuring date there. Is it realistic? You're not saying you're going to climb Mount Everest and you've only got 4 hours. That wouldn't be realistic. But if I had a week, I could climb Mount Everest. And everything's got to be timed. You've got to say, you know, so like, for example, when I was a teacher, we would set goals for children. I worked in SEN a lot, and it might be they had to learn 10 new words in 2 weeks. So the 10 new words, 2 weeks, I could assess them, and then I could see if they've learned those 10 words. Had they learned 8, they've got 80% success. That's good enough, because I love the 80-20 rule. Live by the 80-20 rule. So make sure that you set goals, but you write them down. They must be written, not in your head. Loads of people go, I know what I'm doing, it's in my head. You'll get distracted. It's not there, it's not committed. Something happens psychologically in the brain when you write things down. There are people who make lists. The two ladies that work with me, they've got lists and lists and lists. And I'm working on them to get it down to 3, because the universal rule of 3. Then I tell them, I brought my little frog, eat the frog first. So with your goals, create 3 at a time. Only 3 goals. 3 yearly goals, 3 goals in a quarter, 3 goals each month, 3 goals each week, 3 goals each day. And each of those little goals go towards that big goal that you set for the year. Eat the frog first, do the most challenging one first. Because that's procrastination happens. I know I do it. I'm supposed to send off an agreement to someone, not done it yet. And I'm making all sorts of excuses. So after this, I have to do it. So I need to eat the frog first. Do what you don't like first. And try and remember the universal rule of 3. Again, that's another diamond tip. As is eat the frog first. As is set SMART goals. These are all crucial to success. So you don't have overwhelm. So that you don't procrastinate, to keep you motivated. So you don't burn out. There's reasons for all of these. And remember, by failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. Consistent action. Look, we're not perfect. There's some things that I consistently meet twice a week for the last 18 months with my team. 1, to do a production meeting, and 2, to do a planning. We're consistent week in, week out, week in, week out. And that's why I've had the amount of success and growth I've had in a year. Consistent. Take the action. Make those phone calls. Have those meetings. Do that networking. Do whatever it takes to achieve the goal that you've set. Very important. Take action. And it must be consistent. Do consistently. Find routines in your business. So me, in the morning when I wake up, I put on my computer. What do? Check my scheduler, check my email, go on LinkedIn. That's my little routine. 3 things. Who am I seeing today? What emails have I got that I've got to deal with? What work is it creating for me? And make sure I do let people know I'm visible, who I am, what I do, give value, share content across social media. And for me right now, my focus is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, you'll see me every day. I've been learning a lot about LinkedIn, by the way. That's brilliant. Once you actually know the little secrets, it's great, the results. So going from 100 or so views to going to 25,000 views within a week is pretty awesome when you know what you're doing and you learn. And that's why when you don't know what you don't know, find the people who do know what you don't know. And you don't even know you don't know it. But by being proactive, then you will soon learn what you don't know, and you'll be aware of what you don't know. So that is another diamond tip. Just keep reading, keep watching, keep talking, keep taking action. Be consistent in what you do, because consistent action creates consistent results. Favorite thing, because I'm a people person. Network, connect and grow. Network, connect and grow. Connect, connect, connect. Love people. You're a servant. Serve. Network. Connect with people. Don't just like a post. Make a comment. Speak to them. If somebody says something and you know you can help them, let them know you can help them. But don't be spammy. On social media, somebody wants to connect with you. Next thing, they're trying to sell you something. No, give value. Give value first, because they've got to know, like, and trust you. So don't always think when you in your business. Let me just a little detraction here. In your business, when you think, oh, I need a new client, that language, that word need, comes from a place of lack. But if you intend to take action to attract that new client, and you focus on that, guess what happens? You get clients. I now have clients just connecting with me because I'm visible on social media, or it's a referral because someone's been happy with the work that we've done. They've been happy with the results. And that's the best way to run a business. Be visible, be the light, be the beacon, and let people see how great you are, what your brilliance is. That's why we call Book Brilliance Publishing. That's why I bring out the brilliance in people, because I know it's there. And 25 years of being a teacher has taught me that it's there. So who I am today is built on credible, tangible results and assessment and learning and degrees and all sorts. I left school with nothing. I never told you that at the start. I left school with not one qualification. And now I've got so many qualifications. Time is everything. So network, connect, and grow. How can I serve you? What can I do to help you today? Because when you come from that place, then that will come back to you, and people will want to do business with you, and you will make money. Because if you're not in business to make money, what's the point of being in business? It's a hobby or it's a charity. Yes, being in business is about money. And remember, back at mindset at number 2, I said it's about where's your money mindset. Money mindset really comes from a place of gratitude, a place of service, connecting with your heart, not just connecting, oh, well, I can get them to buy whatever. Yes, that's an end result, a new client. But how are you going about it? Who are you on that journey? That's what's so important. That's why I started with you and not all these things. Because quite often, there's so many things in 10 tips to start a business. There's so much. Where'd you begin? Well, for me, I had to begin with what works for me. And I've got the success to prove these things work. But this is a new way of thinking. This is innovative and fresh. This is not old. This is not old school. That's gone. We need to come from a place of service, a place of wanting to make a difference in the world, to how people feel. That's why there'll be something in you. You might want clean water. You might want to help people, I don't know, grow crops. You might want to help people in war zones, refugees, whatever it was. For me, I'd been homeless, so I wanted to help homeless women. Domestic violence. Now, why am I a founder of a non-profit organisation that's about domestic peace? because our plight and our darkness and our adversity, it's there for a reason. And when we network, connect and grow, we use story. Go back to the point when I said story is so important. Story is what connects us. We're human, we love stories. We go back to when time began. We started telling stories around the campfire. There's still cultures and places in the world today where they still sit around campfires. I mean, here, if you're in like Guild Guides, I don't know if you can call them Guild Guides now today with all the gender issues, but you know what I mean? These children things, and they go camping. They tell stories around the campfire. They do show and tell in school. That's storytelling. The art of storytelling is so powerful. But you will not grow your business if you do not learn how to network and to connect, come from that place of service. Fantastic African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, you need to go with others. No man is an island. You know, I have 6 people in my team, but I have another 10 at least who are creative partners who can help my authors grow. It's so important that in your business, don't see yourself as a solopreneur. Find the people who can help you. Find your mentors. Find people who are willing to do things for you. Because in the beginning, you don't have the money to do everything. But when you do the give and take thing, it's amazing how you grow. It's just, it's a miracle. It really is. But you have to come from that place of love and have that attitude. All the things we've said before. Very, very important. I became a teacher and I was trained as a reflective practitioner. Reflect, reflect, reflect. So when I come off this, I will reflect on what went well, what could I do better next time. Reflect on everything. There's a reflection practice that's very good for the end of the day. It's part of a routine. Reflect on what you achieved that day and what might you do next. It all comes in part of planning and learning that whole skill around planning. Reflect. You know, in primary schools, 2 stars and a wish, and always just do one thing. Don't give yourself, I need to do this, this, this. You're going to overwhelm yourself and burn out. So what 2 things did you do well and what 1 thing do I need to do to make it better? Reflection. Because when we reflect, we learn to do better and we can tweak and create change. So important. Reflection is who I am. It's part of what I do and I do it habitually. I do it even when I don't know that I'm doing it. John Dewey says we do not learn from experience, we learn from reflecting on the experience. You know, my mother died, and when my mother died, my nephew got married the following year and I went to the wedding and I was absolutely shocked because I'm a people person and I struggled to talk to anybody. And I behaved in a way that was alien to me in that wedding. Didn't go down well with the rest of my family, but it was the way I protected myself from the pain of losing my mother the year before. I wasn't that aware of that at the time. How did I become aware of it? Because sometime later I reflected on it and then the penny dropped as to what was happening. So sometimes when you reflect, you don't get the answer straight away, but over time, when you keep going back, well, I really don't know why that happened, just let it go. And then eventually one day the answer will come to you and then you can create the change. So find the stories in your life to help you learn and move forward. Ha! Yes. Most important thing. Have fun and celebrate. You should celebrate all the small wins every day. Every day. So whether you've got a happy dance or whatever it is, or maybe you might say to yourself, well, if I get a new client, I will treat myself to this, or I'll buy this for my business, or whatever it is, the small things, you know, every day celebrate, you know, and so there you go, celebrate. So Queen Latifah says, business is fun. Controlling your own destiny is fun. Create an idea and turn it into a movie. Finding an artist and guiding their career and bringing them to some type of status. That's the joy. So the outcome, know what it takes to start a business. Is there one thing you know from today that you can do? What tip have I shared with you that you can start to use in your business? And take one intention from something I've said to do and use that to take the next step. Because as someone told me once, you only get out of life what you're prepared to put into it. And this is quote by Jennifer Lopez says, you get what you give, what you put into things is what you get out of them. So I hope you've seen that I put everything into this presentation today. And for me, I hope you certainly have got something out of it. Thank you very much. I'm open to questions now.
Thank you, Brenda. That was very, very good. You have your own unique way of presenting this stuff. Again, yeah. I said this starting in business, trying to make business a success, you will think that, oh, we've heard it all before, but it came with your own perspective, which is brilliant. So again, if you've got questions, please feel free to ask. There's some information on the chat, if you haven't seen anything on the chat.
I haven't seen it because I can't multitask.
Okay. So there was some stuff on the chat. And,
oh yeah, we've got Juliet. Juliet might be able to help us here.
Okay, Juliet, if you want to do something about that. Okay, let's go on.
Greetings, everybody, and well done. And thank you so much, Brenda. And indeed, Anna, thank you for bringing us together. Brenda, I've got some questions for you over here, few questions. So I'll let you sip your water, but I think these questions will reflect some of the things that you were saying. And we've got people from as far as the United Kingdom, Nigeria, and Kenya watching us. But on behalf of the Niger Delta Peace Initiative and also Anna, we just want to say thank you so much for bringing us all together. We've learned quite a lot. Actually, I've picked a lot of tips from you here today, Brenda. So the first question, I'll bring the questions one at a time. How do you build a good team? What's the secret? And the second question is, how do you use your skills to start a business, and how do you get to decide? I know you picked up on that, but just quick snap answers on those ones.
Okay, so the first one was, how do you build a team?
Yeah.
Okay, so how I build a team is, you heard me say collaboration was my number 2 value. So everything is built around collaboration. So when I speak to people in that conversation, I can tell whether they reflect integrity, they take collaboration, they're reliable through what they say. It's important because I've given couple of people an opportunity to come to work with us. It didn't work out, and so therefore they sadly were let go. But I am always open to give people an opportunity, and that's very important. But to build a good team, my team, we are solid, and that is because we talk and communicate. Even if we don't like something, we tell each other, but we know we're coming from a place of love and a place of giving the best service we can do of high quality. So having people in your team that reflect who you are and your values is absolutely key to growing a super team. Absolutely.
Thank you for that. And the next question is, how do you use your skills to start your business? How do you get to decide? Say, for example, you just realize you've got so many skills. So, and sometimes I know you talked about procrastinating, and I know you did say to get started, but I was just thinking about those people who can't start because they feel they've got all kinds of different skills. What's your top tip for that?
Oh, the thing is about all of this.
Raise your voice a bit.
There's no. Okay, you're not here. I've got a big microphone here. Don't know why that is. So I've thrown now. There are so many things, and that was my issue when I was a coach, because I couldn't make a decision. So what was the problem? It wasn't my skills. It was knowing what I was wanting to give. It's not being able to make a decision. Indecisiveness keeps us stuck, keeps us small. So when you're indecisiveness, that's part of your emotional intelligence. So you have to look at, where else do I not make good decisions? Some people can't choose what they want for their dinner. Some people can't choose what they're going to wear that day. So how can you run a business if you don't know what you're going to eat, if you can't make a simple decision? So indecisiveness, it's not the skills, but once you know what you're passionate about, and once you know what it is that you want to give, look at yourself and say, right, what's the first step I need to take? The first step I need to take is talk to people about it, is to write myself a plan and then ask me, well, what's the first thing I need to do? It might be I need to go and speak to somebody to help me, or it might be that I need to spend 2 weeks working on this plan and getting it together. But the thing is, take a step, talk to people, tell them who you are, what you do. Because in that conversation, they might say, oh, I need you to help me. You might not have your programs ready. I'm talking from a place of service. You might not have that product there. But do you know what? There'll always be something you can do that will give you time behind the scenes to go, right, I need to do this. You know, necessity is the mother of invention, isn't it? So going back to the very first thing I said, just start. Just start. But no, you've got to do all these things to make it great, to make it solid.
Thank you. And another question from Mr. Banaye Bioguoko. Are there people who are just not meant to run a business?
Well, you see, remember that I can't. No, remember the wee steps? Yes, I did. So, if you've got a will and a desire to run a business, you've got the capacity. You might not know it yet. You just don't know the steps. Remember, I kept saying, you don't know what you don't know. The most important thing is to find a mentor. The most important thing is to find somebody else who's doing what you want to do and get some advice and get some help. Eventually, you might need to invest in it. You know, so you can get advice for free, but talk to people. Look, I don't know about anybody else here, but I've bought so many online programs. Go on, ask me if I've completed one. No, I was a teacher. I know people need holding hands. They need to be in that situation. Being left alone and not having the opportunity to discuss it, to talk to someone about it. Is this right? Is this not right? You know, you need that, you know. So if someone's got a desire to have a business, there's all sorts of people run highly successful business, and many people sit and go, well, how did they do it? Have the will, the determination. These are the skills, these are the traits that are more important than that strategy. Who are you?
Thank you so much for those ones. And another question here. Quite often you see successful people. What is the difference for those who succeed and those who do not? And also you're just talking about that kind of, I was just thinking about one of the obstacles. When people fear sharing, what would you tell those people?
Oh, let's go to the first question, which was, repeat the first question. Just give me one question at a time, Juliet, would you?
Okay, let me repeat that one. So the question was, quite often you see successful people. Yeah. What is the difference of those who succeed and those that do not?
So those who succeed are those that do the things that the people who do not succeed aren't doing. Simple as that.
Thank you.
There's something called the 1%, and this is where you start. So let's say you say, right, I'm going to work for 4 hours on your business. So you sit and you're busily getting away with your plan, you're doing 4 hours, and then you think, oh, 4 hours, tools down, I'm off. But maybe you were in the middle of something that was really important. Those who succeed will stay and complete it, even though they end up doing a wee bit more in 4 hours. If you do 1% more every day, it compounds. So over time, you do way more than people who give up straight away. So if you think of a weightlifter, so say you do 10 reps, but no, that weightlifter might do another 2 or 3. They might do 12, or maybe they're doing 12. They'll stretch themselves to do 15. That 1% more absolutely compounds itself and makes a difference. But doing things that the people who are not succeeding, that's the difference.
And the other question is, can you start your journey from any point of life? And for some people, why is it they struggle so much?
Self-belief, limiting beliefs. They don't believe they're good enough. They don't believe it's possible for them. But remember that impossible means I'm possible. When you make the decision, I didn't think I could be a teacher. I left school with no qualifications. I didn't know if I was smart enough to get a degree. But do you know what? I wanted to do it. I wanted it so much that I had to do an extra year training to get me on the right step to do it. I put in the hours. I put in extra hours. I was homeless and 4 children, a single parent, looking after sick parents, you know, on a budget, no money.
Thank you.
You do it. You find a way and you do it when that why is bigger than you.
And the next question is, how do we connect different cultures into business, especially here in the United Kingdom or in Europe? You know, there's this aspect of sometimes discrimination. So what is the best tip? How do we go about that, Brenda?
Okay, so I said at one point today, diversity and inclusion is absolutely huge for me. And so therefore, one, you want to find like-minded people, because when you come together, you can create more momentum and you can build more. But what I would say to anybody is back to who are you, know yourself and be confident in who you are and project that and let that brilliance shine. Believe in yourself. So for example, Carol Stewart, who's a Black African woman, or she a very introverted woman, worked in corporate, but then decided a few years ago to give up the corporate life and become a coach. And because she was introverted, she decided she wanted to help other introverted women. And so she started to just talk to them, and she would build her skills along the way. And where she is phenomenal, because she writes these articles on LinkedIn, and she is now won an award 4 years in a row from LinkedIn as one of the top 10 influencers in the UK around introversion and leadership. So you can achieve, so she's sought after. Everybody wants her because she's so successful. Why is she so successful? Let's start with the end of and go back. Because she believed in herself, she had a passion, she had a purpose. She didn't know where she was going to start. She didn't like to talk to people at first. She's still introverted today, but she will stand on her soapbox and she will talk her talk and she will share her message with a passion and a purpose. Brilliant. But then when she comes out of her light, she just goes off and quietly does her thing. It's quite remarkable to see her in action on a stage, giving it what the Scots call loudy. And then she comes off and she's the very quiet lady again. But she knows that she's got to make a difference because too many people will not have their light seen. So know who you are, work on yourself and try. Look, it's a cliche, I know, but I've said it all my life. Every day I try to be the best I can be and be better than I was the day before. Some days it's successful and other days I could have done better maybe. But don't beat yourself up. Just love yourself. And as long as you're trying your best and doing the best you can with what you've got, that's all that matters. As long as you're just not judging people and pointing the finger and blaming, these all come from a very place, a low vibrational place. And courage is the first step to transformation. So when you find your courage to make a difference and do something different, that's when success. Okay.
And 2 more questions, Brenda. So what is the 3 tips? Let me say, what is what 3 secrets can double our finances? What is the top 3 tips that can double our finances? What would you give us?
Okay, 3 tips. So this is all about money mindset. This is a lot of hard work. So the first thing is mind your language. Mind the words and the thoughts that you say. Absolutely. Do not come from a place of lack. So the words not to use are things like I want, I need. Don't. When you find yourself saying that, change it round. I intend. I can't, I can. I can't climb Mount Everest yet. That 3-letter word, yet, gets you out of jail. Don't. So go back to teaching. Never say don't run or don't anything, because the brain does not hear the word don't, it only hears run. So the rules in schools years ago were don't run. What did the children do? They ran. What did they change it to? Walk. Tell people what it is you want. Use command language. No negative language. Get rid of it out of your thoughts, first of all, and out of your mouth, and then out of your actions. Just be positive. So money mindset. Oh, I need a new client. Oh, I've not got enough money. So the next one is gratitude. Be grateful for what you do have. It will multiply and give you more. If you come to my house and look about it, people keep telling me I'm abundant. And I think, what do they mean? I've got abundance. I've got abundance of everything. Did I go about looking at? No, because the universe will give you more of what it is that you are seeking. So if you want money, believe you've already got it. Believe you've got it. So change your language. Attitude of gratitude. Believe you already have it. Find an affirmation. Find an affirmation. Money flows to me easily every day. I have more than enough money to fulfill my needs. Whatever it is for you, there's loads of them on the internet. So change your language. That's your thoughts as well. Attitude of gratitude, and find an affirmation and take the action, and your life will change. It will change, and your bank balance will grow.
Thank you for that. And the last question there is, how do you grow your heart? You know, you keep saying every time abundance and gratitude. How do you grow your heart personally?
How do I grow my heart? That's a good one. That's a new saying for me. So, look, I said, who am I? I am love. So I love and I am joy. I give my best. How do I grow my heart? I just be Brenda. So be who you are, be authentic, whatever that is. Whatever that is for you, be that person. But be that person in joy and in love. Give gratitude. I cannot express the power of gratitude. That changes your life. See the good in others. Don't see the negative. It's easy. Oh, I used the word don't there. Did you catch that? See the positive in others. Stop pointing the finger and blaming. Oh, it wasn't my fault. It was this because this didn't happen, so I'm not there. Take responsibility. We've not used that word today. Take responsibility. This is how you grow. If I'm not successful, it's my fault. Why am I not successful? Don't blame anything else. Blame what do I need to change in me, and what do I need to do different? So what do I need to change and what do I need to do different? So I just grow my heart just by loving, gratitude, doing the best I can. And that's what people see. And so therefore, I do more of the same.